My God is Yahweh.
All right. Kaitlin Bennett went to Ohio University and met up with the fundamental atheist that is a cancer in the world, the loving, tolerant, cancerous, fundamental atheist. She went to Ohio University. Let's watch a little bit of the video.
Hi guys.
How you
You
guys
want to do
doing?
some President's Day trivia questions? See how much you know about the presidents? You want to...
President's Day trivia questions. President's Day trivia questions. Let that sink in.
Needed you. You're up.
I know medicine. I'm not a huge.
I'm sure you can get some. It's President's Day. Here we go. Who were the first 3 presidents?
Ooh, George Washington, of course. Ooh, this is hard.
The second one was elected twice.
Oh, is it No, that's not. He's the 5th.
All right, so we don't we don't need to watch the whole video, but as you can see,
Thank
it
you.
starts out very nice, asking trivia questions for the students.
He just gave you part of the answer.
Oh, I have one. Okay, but no, I don't drink. Nope. Okay, who's
Did
next?
you just call her a racist?
Alright, I'll answer one.
And then we have people calling her racist.
I'll answer one more question.
Not a nice thing, not a nice
You called me a racist?
Yeah, I am.
What have I said that's racist?
Lots of very, very bad things.
And this young lady here, this atheist female, calls Kaitlin Bennett a racist. And through the whole video, she never backs it up with anything. Never gives one quote, one word, one shred of evidence of how Kaitlin has been racist.
Just one thing. Just one thing.
You guys think she's racist?
And then, like a coward, she looks to the crowd. Do you think Kaitlin is racist? That's not evidence. You haven't said anything. And these people that you're about to show nothing on their cell phone or tablet or computers, anything that Kaitlin is racist in any way whatsoever.
Okay, everybody agrees. Give me
Group mentality. Of course, they're all females. They're all going to agree with each other.
one thing I've said or done that's racist. I just have a question, not about racism.
One thing.
That's who we're talking
One
about.
thing.
That's,
It has to do with the same thing.
well, I'm asking her. She
And then you have this old woman walking up
accused me of being
who was apparently hit the wall like 20 years ago.
racist. I do want to know one thing I've said that's racist.
I would like to hear her stuff.
Oh, I don't want to give any evidence that you're racist. Let's hear the old lady talk.
You called me racist. What's one thing I've said that's racist?
But I want to hear her talk. See? Cowards. Atheist cowards. Accuse you of something, but have nothing to back it up.
Do you let
This always
people
happens.
go in any bathroom they want to?
No.
Okay, so she asked, can men and women go into any restroom that they feel like going into?
Why not?
Because I think that's a dangerous precedent to let men in the women's restroom. I don't think that's appropriate.
But what if that's not the gender you were assigned to?
There's no such thing as being assigned a gender. You're either male or you're female. They're not 58 genders. They're not thousands of genders. You're either male or female. And see, it's psycho people like this that destroy the country and destroy the world. And thank goodness that there are other countries in the world that don't tolerate this nonsense. This is a psychopathic, mentally ill person. Yeah, men and women should be allowed into the same restroom. Stupid.
That, well, unfortunately,
And that's atheism for you. That's fundamental atheist for you.
a lot of college students don't know this, but you were born with the gender that you were born with. That's just how it is.
So, are you a scientist? Right. Like, come on.
Would you say that race or gender?
What she meant to say when she said, are you a scientist? Are you a leftist scientist trying to push an agenda that there are no genders? That a boy born with a penis, a baby born with a penis, isn't actually a male. It's just kind of like gender fluid neutral. And now we can just give them hormone shots to destroy the brain and destroy the body. So they'll grow up being psychotic.
Is more important in terms of how you interact with people.
Both are equally important.
So if I identify as a white person, should
Blah,
I get
blah, blah. Here we go with identify. Here are the crowds. The crowds are starting to show up. The atheist crowds. The all-loving, all-tolerant, leftist, atheist crowds.
We've been here for a whopping 15
You guys
minutes.
wouldn't have any entertainment. You'd have to keep walking and go along with your day. And
Now
that,
keep in mind, Kaitlin Bennett hasn't moved. She's still in the same area. And it's these people that are walking up to her on an Ohio University.
that wouldn't make you happy.
We'd have to go to class.
Go to class. Exactly. Oh, keep in mind there's a police officer right back here.
Why? Why?
Because we're a family.
We're a
All of us
family?
is-
No, you're lying. You're a very young, very naive. Let's just be blunt. You're an idiot. When you leave that college, the odds are you'll never see or talk to those people again for the rest of your life. You're not a family. It's an illusion. You might be friends with these people. You might think you're a family, but it's not. You're not living in reality.
This is an OU family, and we don't come here to start shit.
And what does she start? I'm confused. I've watched this video twice, and I haven't seen her say or do anything that would offend anyone. Trivia questions about the President's Day. And the young man, I think he got the first answer right, George Washington.
Let me tell
But
you.
you're mobbing
let
me,
tell you,
you're-
I came from a
you're
very
around me.
very conservative family in a very conservative town, and nobody.
But you're not conservative. You can't be a conservative. Conservative, by its very fundamental value, fundamental, there's that word again, believes that a boy or a baby born with a penis is a boy. A baby born with a vagina is a female. That is very basic conservative value. So you're not a conservative.
Nobody in my town ever agrees or likes anything you ever say because all of your.
Who cares? That's group think. Think for yourself. And that's the problem with atheists. They don't think for themselves. It's, oh, well, we all think. My whole town thinks. My whole city, my whole country.
Well, that's your whole town knows who I am, though. That's all I got out of that.
Exactly. So you're here for.
He just told me his entire town knows who I am. They talk about me.
You guys gave it to her. How is wait a minute. How is
I
she
just
supposed
stood
to-
here.
If
There's
fans
a-
don't actually push an agenda, that's what you're here for.
Asking trivia questions on President's Day is pushing an agenda. Okay?
I'm just standing here. They're giving me attention.
Trying to act like a bad person, but here you are coming to a liberal
I'm not a bad
school with
person.
liberal people.
So shouldn't you be tolerant? Shouldn't be welcome?
What does that mean? What does that mean? Liberals aren't allowed to associate or talk to other people? That doesn't make any sense. This is the mindset we have in colleges. This is what they're teaching in colleges nowadays. Racism against Asians in Harvard and the upper elite universities. It's disgusting.
Me right now?
We are until you start shit. That's
Oh, okay. So liberals are tolerant until I come here with a different opinion than you guys.
No, I'm okay. I'm actually independent, so I go for
No, he's lying. You can tell by his body language he's lying.
both sides. It's okay to have an opinion, but with
All I'm
you,
doing is
It's okay to have an opinion as long as you don't say it. As long as you don't speak it, you're allowed to have your own opinion. Just don't tell us what your opinion is, because then we'll hate you and mob you and viciously attack you.
standing
And
here.
Antifa.
then when people try to argue like that,
I'm
girl
not
right
doing
over there,
anything.
She tapped your hand and you made a huge deal about it.
I told her not to touch me. You guys are about consent. Liberals are all about consent.
Well, I wouldn't want anybody touching me, and I wouldn't want anybody touching me. If I'm surrounded by a crowd of people, why would I want people touching me? Kaitlin Bennett, just like everyone else there, you wouldn't like it if Kaitlin Bennett come up to you and started pushing on you and shoving you.
I asked her not to touch me.
And Kaitlin Bennett asked that woman please don't touch my hand, because the woman was trying to grab her hand.
It's not a bad thing.
Lil Nas X, take your ass back to Old Town Road. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
I don't get that reference. Take your ass back to Old Town Road. Yay. What does that mean? Old Town Road? Was that like from the 1940s or something?
You guys don't belong here. I'm so sorry.
Hey, did she just tell me to come back, go back?
But she actually does, because... Oh, never
To where I
mind.
came from? Sounds kind of racist to me.
I know, right?
you
It is
seriously
racist.
Old Town Road, baby. Old Town Road. Or Kent State, either one.
You know, you would think that these people going from high school to college would have grown up somewhat. But in colleges, in modern times, colleges don't teach you to mature and act civilized and to act like an adult. Now they encourage these children to act like animals with a mob mentality to attack anything that you don't believe. Instead of conversing with people that you don't agree with and talking to people that you don't agree with, now it's okay just to attack everyone that you don't agree with.
They think I live at Kent State. They actually think I live on Kent.
You know what she's referring to? Kent State. She went to Kent State. She graduated. She took a picture. She had her picture taken of her carrying an AR-15. An AR does not stand for automatic rifle or assault rifle. It stands for Armalite.
Campus. Someone already bought me some.
Oh, lovely. So
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now. Yeah, I'm wearing one right now. Yeah. So don't worry about it. No, I'm good. Yeah, if I go to any parties, I'm good. I'm set. No accidents. I'll be
Hey, who all
perfect.
carries here? Chirp, chirp, chirp.
No evidence.
As racist.
Alright, so I'm just going to skip through some of this. Otherwise, this would be a tremendously long video.
As being an African American.
And give me evidence.
To me as racist.
You're either African or you're American. You can't be African American. You're not living on both continents. And yes, I have a lot of black friends who agree with me. You're either African or American. You're not both. That crap wasn't even made up until like the late 80s, early 90s, when it's just more segregation, mental segregation. And it's too bad that people are not intelligent enough to realize that when you're calling yourself African American, you're automatically condoning segregation and mental racism.
Give me evidence.
I appreciate how you do that to people.
Give me evidence.
Like that. You're really rude.
Give me evidence.
No evidence. Again, no evidence. Again.
I can give you evidence. I can go through your Twitter. I can go through your Instagram.
Then do it. You got your phone with you. You have your phone. Go through Twitter. I got Twitter on my phone. I got Facebook on my phone. I got YouTube on my phone. Show the evidence.
Would you just walk up to somebody, call them a name, insinuate their character, and then not have any evidence?
I feel. You feel like you can go ahead and
I feel fundamental atheist is not about facts or reality. It's about feelings. I feel. You walked up to her and started running your mouth. She didn't walk up to you. She didn't chase you down. You walked all the way across the campus because you seen a mob forming around Kaitlin Bennett, and you walked up to her and confronted her. If you feel like confront her, say your piece, and then move on.
carry guns, and I feel like that you are racist.
I feel like you're racist, but no evidence. I feel... Never mind.
Evidence.
No, I will say it. I feel that you're an imbecile and an idiot and a moron, and I think you should probably go back to high school and mature a little bit more.
Just everything that you say, like
Give me one thing.
Everything that you say, so there must be a plentitude of evidence.
that you just come on a liberal campus.
Okay.
What? I don't understand. What does that mean, coming on a liberal campus? What does that mean? What does it mean? A liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republic, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Hindu campus. What? What does that mean? It's an open campus paid for by taxpayer money. It's not private. It's not privatized. It's for everyone. Coming on a liberal campus asking trivia questions about President's Day. Oh, heaven forbid.
You're black. You're an African American. Have I said anything racist?
No, Kaitlin, you're wrong. He's either African or American.
No. Well, no, not to me.
24/7. You guys are best friends.
He's not with me 24.
Now she's just making assumptions. Best friends? How do you know they're best friends? Again, atheist logic at work, always making leaps and bounds and assumptions.
No, I'm not.
He lives 4 hours away from me.
4 hours away from each other.
There you are again, assuming things that you
Look
don't
at
have
him.
evidence
Halfway
for.
between the two, like where I live and where she lives.
I just am having a hard time with your rhetoric and how you speak to people.
What rhetoric?
Personally, I feel it's very divisive.
I've watched the video twice, and Kaitlin Bennett hasn't raised her voice one time. And if you don't like the way she talks, then why don't you turn around and walk the other way?
And I feel like if
I would like to point
I
out.
feel. You always hear these people say, I feel, I feel. If you feel so bad, then move away. If there's a shark in the water, you get out of the water. If a car is coming down the highway and it's about to hit you, get out of the way. If there's a storm coming, get back in your house or wherever you're at. I feel. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man.
You have a problem with how I talk to people. I've been polite to every single person here today.
And she has been. She has been very polite. Trivia questions about President's Day.
And there's a crowd for me talking about pooping my pants, telling me to leave, telling me I'm a bitch, calling me racist. Who's really being
Here's the
intolerant?
thing. Here's the
okay,
thing.
maybe
I
I've
feel,
not seen your
I
behavior
feel.
today right now. I haven't, and that would be unfair.
You've only seen me on Twitter.
Yes, and your behavior on there is frankly deplorable.
I want to point out.
Based on what? Pull up your cell phone. Pull up some tweets. I looked it up earlier before I did this video. I didn't say anything that was deplorable. Hillary Clinton Jr.
That everybody's trying to drown out the microphone. There's
Look
no
at her.
way
She's
I
got,
can
what
hear
is that,
you
a
or
tablet?
read you or
She's got a
you
tablet
get
with a
raised.
headset on.
Stop.
It's right there.
I'm talking to her. Don't be rude.
I will be.
There's no way that I can pay attention to you if the whole crowd is drowning you out. I can't hear that.
Man, look at her. Look at that look on her face. Man, she looks like she's about to pull out a chainsaw and start killing people. She looks crazy.
As well as I can hear
I'm not saying she is, but I feel.
someone else talking to me. If you have a question, I'd love to answer you. Yes. Yep, I can read.
What is she doing?
So I can go
Okay, so it looks like she's actually trying to look up some information.
Go ahead and ask me your question. She's typing. She's typing. I can see what she's fine. I know. So just hold on. You're a racist. Wow.
That's
I wasted
it?
all my time, Benny. You're racist.
She just typed in "you're racist," and then people start clapping for her and give her a thumbs up. Oh man! Oh, this is the world that we live in modern times. Holy crap! Oh man! Unbelievable.
Very good.
Very good.
Smart.
You get an A+. Go home.
They were quoting a TikTok at you because if they were really
TikTok?
spending time on their studies, then they wouldn't have time for TikTok.
Alright, so I've had enough of this. Let's go ahead and skip to 2510, where we meet the wonderful Christian girl. The innocent Christian female. 2510. Here we go. Here it is. We'll watch this just for a second.
Argument. Love makes you strong.
And as you can see, the loving, tolerant, fundamental atheists have already started to mob and throws things and verbally attack Kaitlin Bennett.
No, I'm experiencing that here today. I love you as a sister in Christ.
I love you as a sister in Christ.
But guns don't make you strong. They make you safe. They make you save people.
Guns make you safe, which is true. Guns kill people. That's also true.
Guns take lives. They save lives.
Both are true. Guns do take lives. Guns do save lives.
They do not. They take lives. Over 3 million lives every year is saved due to firearms. But look at what Jesus says.
Look what Jesus says.
Whoever lives by the sword will die by the sword.
Wrong. Yes, he did say that, but you're taking it out of context. Kaitlin Bennett says, as most people say, firearms in your home. Firearms as self-defense. Not talking about living by the gun as a mercenary or in the military or some other, robbing banks and stuff. That's living by the gun, the sword. And then you have this wannabe Christian, this fake Christian. Or, I'll be fair, maybe she's a baby Christian. Maybe she doesn't understand the Bible contextually. Maybe she's not an adult, a mature Christian yet. Live by the sword, die by the sword has absolutely nothing to do with what Kaitlin is talking about in self-defense. Which leads me to the second part of my video. I have watched many other videos where other people have tried to interpret this: live by the sword, die by the sword, why did Jesus do it, and so on. But I'll get to that in 1 second.
Listen to me, you need to repent.
Repent of what? Wanting to defend yourself? Because you don't know the Bible? Because you're a fake, fraudulent Christian? If you were a true Christian, you would be telling all these people around her to chill out, to be loving, kind, caring, and considerate, and to show her hospitality. She's fake. Telling Kaitlin Bennett, was she standing there asking trivia questions about President's Day? Repent of what?
Dude, shut up.
I know, right? Best part of the whole video. Dude, shut up. My sentiments exactly. Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Have a blessed day. Absolutely. God, I cannot stand people like that. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword. Completely, 100%, 1000% out of context. By someone who doesn't know the Bible. To live by the sword, to die by the sword. I'm not talking about living by the gun. She's not a mercenary. She's not a police officer. She's not in the military. She's talking about using guns in self-defense, defending you, your family, innocent people. All right, so to live by the sword, to die by the sword. Why did Jesus tell his apostles to do that? They ended up with 2 swords for 2 reasons. To fulfill the prophecy that, well, here, I looked it up earlier so I could show you the verses. Now, however, he told them, the one with the purse shall take it by 2 swords. Luke, here we go, you can see it better here. For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me, and he was reckoned among the transgressors. Prophecy, well, not prophecy, but the Pharisees were calling him a fake Messiah, a false Messiah. And we have proof of that. Well, they said, but we also have proof in Jesus' own words that there were many false messiahs before him. And they would raise up an army. The Pharisees, the Jewish people, were looking for a conquering Messiah to get rid of the Roman people, to bring Israel back to its former glory, independent country of a all Jewish country. And so when Jesus told the apostles to go buy a couple of swords, 2 swords, I mean, think about it. What are two swords going to do against hundreds or even thousands or tens of thousands of soldiers? The might of the Roman army, or even the Pharisees had access to Jewish police officers, you might say, constables, hundreds of them, thousands of them. So it had to be fulfilled that Jesus would be considered a transgressor, in the sense that Jesus would say, okay, see, look, you wanted a conquering Messiah? Here's my apostles. They have swords. But that's not what I'm here for. I am the lamb that was slain, that will be slain for the sins of the world. I'm not a conquering Messiah. I am a saving Messiah, a forgiving Messiah, a loving Messiah. I didn't come here to kill, conquer, and destroy. I came to save. And we can see that throughout the whole Bible. And what he was referring to as the transgression, because right before Jesus, if you look at the conversation that Jesus had with the Pharisees were having in private, it was before these days rose up Thaddeus, boasting himself to be somebody. And this was a false Messiah, and he rose up 400 men to conquer the conquer the Romans and to drive them away from Israel. And if you read the whole story, the Pharisees were comparing Jesus to this guy Thetis. He claimed to be a false Messiah, and they even asked Jesus, "Will you be like this guy here?" He rose up. He had 400 men. He wanted to drive out the Romans and to free Israel. And Jesus said, no, I'm not here for that. And you would see through the whole story that the Pharisees and the Jewish people themselves would constantly ask Jesus, are you the one? Are you the conquering Messiah that we've been waiting for? And then finally, right before Jesus is crucified, when he's in the garden, he's telling his apostles, go out, buy swords, so it can be fulfilled that people will look at me as just another false Messiah. That's what really, it's symbolic prophecy being fulfilled. He says, I'm not the conquering Messiah, not in the sense that that you're thinking of. With the sword, I don't conquer with the sword. You conquer with the word of God. To love your enemies, to be kind and caring, to walk the extra mile. To be the best person you can be. That's how you conquer, even if it costs you your life. And this is just more of who this guy was. He was a false Messiah, seen by the Romans as an insurrectionist and a rabble-rouser, as seen in Acts 5. He is mentioned as an example of futility of pretense. And his claims are compared to those of Jesus. He was a false Messiah. He had 400 men. He went against the Romans, and they slaughtered him. Oh, and to live by the sword is to die by the sword, is not the same thing as defending yourself, like I said before. I just want to make that clear. So that's the end of the video. Here, again, we see... Oh, let's go ahead and go close to the end of the video when they really start to mob Kaitlin. Now you got hundreds, maybe even thousands of people out there. Hard to tell. And you have a police officer laughing, a second lieutenant, laughing, not doing anything to help at all. Not doing anything. Absolutely disgusting. This person should be fired. Strip, no pension, no nothing. Strip, maybe be a dog catcher for the rest of his life. Absolutely worthless. He did nothing to stop these students, to calm them down. He didn't say, hey, calm down, everybody tone it down. He didn't do anything to diffuse the situation. You're blocking traffic. Really. That shows you how corrupt the police are. That shows you how corrupt Ohio is. That shows you how corrupt that this university is, telling her she's blocking traffic when she can't even move 5 feet. Look at this psychopath over here in the corner. These people are absolutely insane. And that's fundamental atheism for you. There is no logic. There is no reason. There is no being a civilized human being. It's acting like animals. And he does nothing. Look at him. He walks away. And when these animals, these childish animals, see him walking away, then they get even worse. He does nothing to help. Absolutely nothing. Unbelievable. And see, now look. Now they go even more crazy because they see that nothing's going to happen. And look at this psycho. And they go even more crazy. Good job. You've graduated to the University of Ohio. So proud of you. Don't deserve to be here, whatever that means. Look at that. They're trying to block her from walking. Alright, I've had enough of this. If it were up to me, all these students, and I use that word loosely, because if it were up to me, they would all be expelled. It would not be allowed on a college campus for acting like that. Simply disgusting. And nothing happened to them. And of course, everybody on Twitter and YouTube will defend this animalistic behavior, because in modern times it's not about thinking and reasoning and talking and discussing different values, different ideas. It's about acting, who can act the most animalistic, who can act the most vicious, who can be the meanest person on the block, the biggest bully on the block. And it all started with asking trivia questions on President's Day. And the fundamental atheists absolutely go, well, the fundamental atheists do what they do best, act like animals.